Hi, welcome to another episode of Eat Like a Chef. I'm your host, Chandler Baird. Today we are in downtown Coeur d'Alene. We're going to be visiting Honey, Eatery, and Social Club. And we're meeting up with Chef Justin Klauba, and he's going to take us through some awesome recipes.
Hi, Chandler.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we're excited to have you. Please come and join us. We got a couple different dishes we're going to be preparing today.
Cool, let's do it.
So, Chandler, we're going to be making the Honey Truffle Deviled Eggs here
Awesome.
that we serve here at Honey. We definitely try to cook with the seasons, very important. So one of the things that we go with is using things that are local. Honey, we source everything actually out of Idaho. This is coming from Mountain Sweeties apiaries.
Amazing.
But other than that, we try to embrace the seasons. So here we have a take on one of your classic comfort foods, deviled eggs, but we've done it with our own little twist on it.
Okay.
So,
how many of y'all's recipes here actually have honey? What percentage?
90% or more.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, it's one of my favorite ingredients to use, and it's the only ingredient that's 100% non-perishable. One of the things we use the hard-boiled egg. We separate out the yolk from the white. We reserve those yolks, and then those go in the food processor. So, with the hard-boiled egg yolks, then you have some Black Truffle Peelings that go into the food processor as well. Some raw chopped garlic. A little bit of smoked paprika.
And obviously you're using a lot of Spiceology products.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. I almost use them exclusively.
Love that.
A little bit of honey vinegar. A little bit of honey granules.
What's a honey granule?
So it's dehydrated honey, and then it's like granulated. So it's a honey in a powdered form.
Wow.
So it's an alternative that you can use to sugar.
Okay.
So, and then just a little bit of mayo. And then a pinch of salt. And all of that goes into the food processor and blend until it's smooth.
And what's the benefits using that kind of salt versus...
The flake salt?
Yeah.
The texture, it's... the salinity is a little bit different, and this is Pacific flake salt off the coast of Oregon that we're using instead of just your standard kosher salt.
Yeah.
So, and then once that's smooth, then we go ahead and we transfer it over to a pastry bag so it's easy to pipe into the egg white.
Okay.
So then we use a little bit of radish sprouts just for a little bed for garnish. These are actually being produced by well-grown farms out of Spangle, Washington. We try to support local businesses when we can.
Love that.
So it's helpful if you put a little bit of the filling down on the bottom.
For them to stick to?
Yep, so this way they don't slide around on your plate.
Smart. This is the hard part, right?
Yeah, it can be a little difficult. You just have to have patience. The key is actually to have your product towards the front of the pastry bag and you squeeze from the back end.
Okay.
So there's that. And then we put on top of each one, a thin shaving of black truffle.
Wow. That is next level right there.
Yeah, it brings a nice earthiness and umami. A lot of times you'll see using truffle oil, but to me it's overprocessed and it doesn't really have the true essence of truffles. One of the things with black truffles, in my opinion, I feel black truffles need to be cooked to really bring out the nice flavor and the aromatics, as where white truffles can definitely be shaved raw and consumed that way.
Okay, so these are already cooked,
Yep.
these black truffles?
Yep, it's already been preserved.
How are they cooked? Are they
It's
sauteed?
It's actually, they're canned with a little bit of tamari soy and for the salinity, and then also just a little bit of club soda.
Oh, okay. You guys do that here?
No, I'm buying this
like that.
I am buying this product like that, but that's how I would preserve it as well.
Right.
So then on top we put a little bit of fried crispy shallots for some texture contrast, and then this is a mix of honey granules and black truffle salt.
All right, thank you so much, Chef Justin. Now the fun part, we get to try it. Are we going in?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Wow. It's like sweet and smoky and crunchy and savory. This is everything right here. Y'all need to get here and try these or make them at home. Either way, we also wanted to briefly just talk about Chef Justin's background. He has a really cool story. He's cooked all over the world. So tell us a couple of places that you've worked.
I was born and raised in Chicago. I spent some time working for Charlie Trotter when I was in Chicago. I worked for Olivier de Saint Martin in Philadelphia for a while and learned a lot about French cooking. Spent some time in San Francisco working with the Alexander Steakhouse Group, and even in Las Vegas working with Chef Rick Moonen for 5 years there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before my wife and I we decided to move up here. She's an Idaho girl, so we decided.
We love that.
Yep, absolutely. We decided to be able to raise a family up here.
And you love it here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to say it's like living in a calendar because everywhere you look, it's just beautiful.
I love that. It's so true. And how long have you been here at Honey?
Almost 2 years now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, we're so glad to have you. This was seriously incredible. Some of the best deviled eggs I've ever had.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Join us after the commercial break for more recipes. Oh, this is cool, little wine cellar. I bet Adam's in here. Oh, would you look at that?
Hello.
Hi, what are you doing in here?
You know, just a little light reading.
With your friend?
Yes.
All right, well, you ready to go cook?
I can make some time to do that.
Okay, let's go. All right, we have made our way back upstairs to the kitchen here at Honey Eatery and Social Club. Adam Hegsted going to show us how to make their Honey Ceasar Salad.
Okay, so I'm going to start with making it's sort of our classic-esque Caesar dressing.
Okay.
So we have egg yolks. This is going to build our emulsion for our dressing, and along with the Dijon mustard. Okay. So these two things together, they help build that emulsion. And what the emulsion does is it takes, obviously, like liquid and oil, and it creates small little bubbles. And that's like kind of what holds the dressing together, so you don't have like oil and water.
Yeah, okay.
And so these combination of things will help build that dressing. Okay? And the garlic as well actually has some in it as well. So we have egg yolks, Dijon, a little bit of chopped garlic, and then some capers. This is a caper berry.
Okay.
A little bit of Manchego cheese. So usually this would be like Reggiano or Parmesan, something like that. So we have Manchego, it's a Spanish cheese. And we're gonna use boquerones. So these are a Spanish anchovy. They've been pickled.
Okay.
So instead of classic salty anchovies, these have like a little bit of a subtle flavor to them.
Are you bilingual?
Your accent
a little bit.
is so good. Okay, and then a little bit of lemon juice. Some salt.
Yes.
And some black pepper. Okay. So then we're gonna just put this in the food processor. You can do this in the blender too. Okay, so turn it on, and then as it's blending, I'm gonna drizzle the oil in really slowly so it grabs onto everything. If it starts to get too thick, I'll add a little more lemon juice or water to help emulsify that.
Okay.
So this is just canola oil. I'm just drizzling it right in really slowly. Each egg yolk can hold about 6 ounces of oil. I have 6 ounces here and about 6 ounces there.
Okay.
And so we're just gonna try and emulsify it all together.
Gotcha.
And then it'll blend up all those ingredients together as we're combining it as well. And the trick here is that you don't want to add it too fast because it'll separate.
Okay.
It'll de-emulsify. So you can see it starting to kind of come together here.
Yeah.
It's not two separate things.
So the goal is to use that oil and all of that?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's a pretty traditional Caesar dressing. It has olive oil. I mean, we put canola oil in it because we don't like it to get too thick after it sits. Because sometimes it'll get like really, really thick and you have pure olive oil in there.
Okay.
And we just want a little bit of that olive oil flavor. It's getting pretty thick here, so I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Okay, so add a little bit of lemon juice, and then I can add a little more olive oil. And there we go. And then we have like beautiful homemade Caesar dressing.
Yes.
And if you like it a little thinner, then you can add a little bit of water or buttermilk or whatever you want to add to it to thin it out.
Okay.
I like it a little bit thick. So.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So now we'll build our Caesar salad. Okay, so now we have all our stuff for our Caesar salad. This is a gem lettuce instead of like a traditional romaine. It's kind of a mix of iceberg and romaine kind of together. It has like a little bit
crunchy.
Yeah, it a little bit more sweetness to it.
Okay.
Okay. This is shredded Manchego cheese, Spanish cheese. This is actually croutons we make with biscuits instead of regular like sourdough bread.
Way.
It's pretty delicious.
Those look so good.
The dressing we just made.
Uh-huh.
These are fried capers.
Okay.
They're like kind of a pickly flavor, but we're frying them so they're nice and crispy.
Yeah.
And then we'll zest a little bit of lemon on top.
Oh my gosh.
Start by cutting it in half. And really just want to get rid of the stem. So
Okay.
we'll just kind of do a small V cut on there.
Oh. This was one of my pregnancy cravings. Like the
Caesar
only
salad.
healthy thing that I would eat was kind of healthy thing I would eat was
Caesar salad. And so you can leave the leaves kind of big, which I sort of like it that way. Or you can cut them up like a traditional Caesar with kind of the square pieces, which would just be another cut right across.
Okay.
But I'm going to leave them big, because I
Okay.
kind of like them that way.
Yeah. Then
more
ideally
of like
you
a-
cut them as you're eating.
Yeah, or it's like a fork and knife sort of salad.
Okay, yeah.
And I think it presents a little bit nicer and looks like a little bit more elegant than just like a pile of
For
greens.
sure, yeah.
Okay. Then we'll add our dressing.
Lovely.
And gently, like extremely gently. I think this is like, people sort of mess this part up, is like you have to be so gentle with your greens because they're obviously lettuce and they are
Yeah.
prone to bruising. And so we just try and be, I guess, careful as possible
Okay.
when we're mixing these so they don't get all beat up.
So in recipes we've done in the past, sometimes we've kind of massaged them.
Yeah, sometimes we'll just use our hand to do it.
Does it depend on the salad?
Well, this has like a pretty creamy dressing, and I'm just trying to keep it like a little more
Yeah,
friendly
yeah.
here.
So it doesn't get soggy. Totally.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then basically everything's sort of coated, but it's not really soggy. And I rinse the grains off beforehand. I let them soak in a little bit of cold water, strain them off really well, and then let them put in the fridge overnight, and that makes them like really nice and crisp.
Ah.
And then we'll go ahead and plate it up. And the way I like to do this is sort of stack it up. So it's like, it's a Caesar salad, right? But it's
Right.
like a little bit different of a version. It has like a little bit of a Spanish kick to it.
It's elevated
And
for sure.
it's just kind of a little bit more elegant than general.
Yeah.
And the way I like to plate stuff too is like, I mean, I don't put like a bunch of sauces on the plate and do all this stuff. I like to make it look like it fell from heaven. That's like how I describe it to my cooks. I'm like,
Okay.
make it look like it fell from the sky. So it's like beautiful and just fell exactly right. Okay, so Manchego cheese,
I'm gonna try it.
a little bit of our croutons.
Those are amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is like going above and beyond.
A little bit extra black pepper on top. Our caper berries. And then fresh lemon.
Wow.
This is just a microplane. So what it does is it gives like a really fine
Yep.
grated lemon, so you don't get big chunks of lemon peel in there.
For
The
sure.
trick is you have to kind of move the lemon around with it. Otherwise you get a lot of that white pith, which is like really bitter.
Bitter, yeah. Wow.
that's it.
Well, that looks like it's
simple,
about to be.
but it's like a lot of different layers in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going to dig into this Honey Ceasar salad. Join us after the commercial break for more recipes at Honey Eatery and Social Club.
All right, so we're gonna cut herbs. The little trick to this is to stack them up, and you just do a little roll on them. You just kind of roll them, and then you can just slice them so you have really thin cut herbs.
Wow.
I also wanted to include this. So this is kind of how I keep them at home, like in a bag. I get a damp paper towel,
Okay.
just wrap it around the stem, and then just like put them in a container. So then it's kind of the same idea with parsley. So really what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the whole bunch and kind of just do that roll
Oh my gosh.
and do the same thing. So it's like kind of a tight bunch, and then you can just chiffonade it. So chiffonade is just like a thin cut of herbs.
Wow.
And then if you want to have like a more minced parsley, you just go back through it again. So then you just kind of move the whole pile, just go back through again. So you have like
Wow.
they're already kind of small.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
And that's
super
it.
helpful. That's
Yeah.
much better than the store bought, right?
Yeah, well, way better and
Yes.
more fresh.
Yes.
So. Welcome back to Eat Like a Chef. I'm joined with my very special, beautiful guest, Jeni Hegsted, my wife, Executive Director of Emerge in Coeur d'Alene here. And we're gonna do a Buddha bowl. So we're gonna start off by making our avocado dressing. Here's all of our ingredients. We're gonna start out, you can just put everything in the blender and we're gonna blend it up and then slowly add the oil. So you can start with the avocados.
It's a much larger knife than I use at home to do that.
So tell us about Emerge.
Emerge is a community arts program in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, founded 6 years ago, and we support and empower local aspiring artists in the community through our gallery space, our community events, and classes and workshops that we have.
And right now you're remodeling your space. Where's it at?
So our new space is going to be at 119 2nd Street, so just a few blocks from Honey. We are hoping to be able to open by the first of the year.
And what happened to your last space?
Yeah, so we have a new space because last year the building that Emerge was housed in was overtaken by a fire, and so we lost our space, and now we're just getting rolling with some construction, so we're really excited about.
Almost there. So go ahead and dump a little bit apple cider vinegar in, and then Dijon dressing, or Dijon mustard. In this, the Dijon, this will help emulsify our salad. So along with the avocados, they both have emulsifiers in there. So when we're adding the oil, it enables the dressing to hold together so it doesn't separate. Okay, so a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of sugar. Okay, cilantro, this is chopped cilantro, chopped parsley, a little bit of salt and pepper. Just do like a little bit of each.
Oops.
There it goes. Okay, so if it gets a little bit too thick, just add a little bit of water to that, and it'll help give you enough room to put the oil in. So now we're gonna slowly drizzle in the oil. Okay, a little more. That's good. And go ahead and pour the rest in. Perfect, now we have our dressing. So this will be the base for our Buddha bowl. Okay, so now we're gonna do our seeds mix. This is the topping for the Buddha bowl. We just have a bunch of different seeds. So we have sunflower seeds, go ahead and dump them in the bowl. These are pepitas or pumpkin seeds, squash seeds, flax seeds, poppy seed, sesame seed, toasted sesame seeds, and a little bit of nori powder. So the nori powder, what we do is we take a whole sheet of nori that you traditionally use for sushi, and we just grind it up in the food processor, and it comes out like a really fine dust. A little bit of salt, and then a squirt of olive oil. That's it. Then we'll mix this around. This is our seed mixture for the top of the Buddha bowl. Okay, so now we're gonna warm up our grains. These are boiled lentils and quinoa. This is just, all we do is boil them with a little bit of salted water or stock. Add a little bit of olive oil and stick to our pan here. And you can bake them in the oven or cook them on stovetop like this. And we have roasted mushrooms. So these are just mushrooms that have a little bit of salt and pepper on them, and then they're roasted. A little bit of peppers. And then we'll put our lentils here and quinoa. That's it. So then we're just gonna heat this up, and then we'll put all of our different flavors. What are some of your favorite things that we've made at home?
We really love Indian food.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's something that
really anything
takes
ethnic.
a little longer, so that's like a good Sunday dinner sort of thing. I've been making a lot of interesting things with tofu lately. And
a lot of experimenting with tofu.
yeah.
Yeah, like make a lot of like Asian dishes, Thai,
Yeah.
Chinese, Korean, Mediterranean, a lot of Mediterranean. You know, it's nice to be able to change that up a lot and make little small plates of things.
There's a good variety for everybody.
Well, I think that's like what's great about this dish as well is like like I said, all those different textures and all those different flavors. It makes it like a very interesting, you know, every single bite's like a little bit different.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna do is add our dressing. Stir that up. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and decorate this up. So really this is our base. This is our grain with the mushrooms and peppers. Just kind of spread that out. And then the way I like to do that is kind of have little sections of each one. So each is a little bit of a different bite. So these are pickled onions. These are just a really quick pickle. They have a little bit of red wine vinegar, a little bit of honey and salt. Pour the hot liquid over top and let them sit. This is fresh shaved fennel. So this is just raw fennel shaved on a mandolin. These are pickled carrots, and this is same kind of liquid. So we basically have a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of sugar and salt, and then just let those sit. And some shaved cucumber. These are cucumbers that have been peeled and then shaved on a mandolin. This is a daikon radish kimchi. So this is has a little bit of chili flake, and it's naturally fermented. A little bit of peppers as well. This is feta cheese. Adds a little bit of richness to it and a little bit of like that sharp saltiness. Freeze-dried peas. Add the crunchiness. Freeze-dried corn, again with the crunchiness. These are roasted beets, bull's blood beets, and then a little bit of our roasted yellow beets as well.
This looks really good.
Just stuff them in there. Okay, and then finish with the seeds. You can kind of do the seeds all over. Okay, good. And then I'm just gonna finish with a little bit of salt as well, just to season up all those vegetables. And there we are, our beautiful Buddha bowl. Good job. All right, here we are, our Honey Ceasar and the Buddha bowl.
Thank you so much. They're so bright and colorful. I love it. Thanks for teaching us your tricks again.
Of course.
Thanks for being here, Jeni. It was great to have you.
Welcome.
Be sure to join us weekends because everyone's watching Fox 28.
I made
What's in this one?
Those got the grains, and then with the avocado vinaigrette, kimchi, feta, pickled carrots, pickled onions, cucumbers, fennel, roasted beets, seeds.
Gosh, that is quite the bowl.
Yeah,
I should say what's not in that.
yeah.
I'm loving this salad, actually.
This one has like a fried egg on it. We usually poached egg usually.
Oh.